What is going on, everybody? We're going to be covering the new Darth Maul series on Disney Plus. Obviously, Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I was kind of interested in this right here. A little bit behind because of being sick, and also because Darth Maul is in the shadows. I'm going to be sitting in the shadows for the review to kind of just set the ambiance and whatnot. Now, two episodes is going to come out each week because we're trying to do it by May the 4th. So I'm going to be covering those. I'm going to be covering the next two episodes. This right here is going to be covering because they drop two episodes at a time, which I actually think is a pretty good idea because of the way the show's set up. Normally, like in an animated cartoon setup, you usually have like a couple of episodes that like kind of really go together, but they just split them up because it's like, animation and it's cartoons. So with that being said, I'm going to be covering two episodes at a time. So this right here will be episode 1 and 2, and I'm going to be jumping on episode 3 and 4 pretty quickly within the next day or two to be able to get completely caught up, because this is one of those things. This is a show that I wasn't necessarily 100% like all in for. It's like, all right, cool. It's going to be a cute little cartoon. And I'll be honest with you, like back in the day, whenever they brought Darth Maul back, I didn't really agree with that, to be totally 100% honest with you. But what's done is done, and they have already did it. So let's see and talk about like what's going on. And it's just, after they brought him back, even though I disagreed with it, I like some of the things that they were ended up able to do and portray in the Darth Maul, like kind of lore Darth Maul, like being able to get, after you get over the fact that he like comes back, he was cut in half, but he was able to come back and survive. After you get over that fact, I like some of the story arcs and stuff that they gave Darth Maul after the fact in the Clone Wars and even in Rebels. And but this is a new like animated series on Disney Plus and everything else. And it's pretty, he's known as the Shadow Lord and everything, but it's pretty. Be honest with you, I actually like the series so far. We got. The first episode, we get into them trying to go in and basically do like steal something and everything else, and some information and all that. And then the cops, the police in this world shows up. I think the place is called like Janix. So it's a different little spot, different little like planet that we're on. It does have a lot of like similarities to Coruscant, especially with some of the artwork. And by the way, the artwork and stuff in this for this Darth Maul series is actually pretty well done. I like it. I dig it. I dig some of the artwork and stuff that's involved, but like, and I love the fact that there are diving into a darker character as in Darth Maul, and they're kind of sticking with that so far. Whereas like in the Acolyte series and stuff, like I felt like they should have been with the actual like darker side of the story for way more, and they turned out, and I thought it was a cool opportunity to do something like that in live action, and that was, as we all know, an epic failure on all accounts. The writing was not good. Some of the characters were just stupid. All this kind of stuff. They did dumb things almost every episode that I had to talk about when we were like recording and doing those like reactions to that series. But so far, I've actually like really dug this, even though it's a cartoon and stuff. Like, it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to judge sometimes something that's made for technically like kids and whatnot. But I'm going to be honest with you, this is something that I think that the Disney Plus people actually have so far done super well. Some of the stuff that they put out, like I wouldn't agree with, but in this particular instance, this seems to be flowing a lot nicer, and it's not like super corny all the time. Of course, you got like a couple of characters and what have you, because it is animated, that are kind of, childish or whatever. I can forgive some of that as long as the stuff surrounding it and the writing surrounding it makes at least sense, and they do it pretty well. But yeah, Darth Maul and them going around doing their thing. Darth Maul shows up, boom, boom, the double-bladed lightsaber comes out. He like just murks some people. You don't really see it because it is a cartoon, and then it kind of cuts away to like the little intro segment they have. But you still know what happens, and that's enough for me as long as you do, like I said, the stuff well. We get introduced to a new young Twi'lek character, and it looks to be obviously like maybe like a master or something like that. So we got some of the Jedi's that possibly survived, after Order 66, and that kind of thing. And we go to learn that like Darth Maul like actually feels this, and he's kind of trying to get himself an apprentice and whatnot. And this is one of the avenues that he's going to choose to like go down uh, to do that. We got a new character in the leader of the actual like police force here. Not really like the leader, but he's like a detective kind of person, right? And he's trying to do all this. We also learned that the Empire is wanting to get involved, and they also even have a warning for this guy. And we got a character that's a droid that's two boots, which I think is like a cool little thing. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds stupid, but he's got like he actually wears boots as a droid, which is kind of cool. Makes him descriptive, a little bit different from the rest of the droids and whatnot. And another thing I like about this is we don't get the super cute uh, droid friend right now. We have like the actual little spy bot, I think they call it, which I think is really super cool, actually. And I'm actually digging that robot, like all the little special features and stuff like that it has, the way it's designed, and all that. I'm actually enjoying that as well. And that's me talking as an adult when it comes to it. And I can't stress enough, like I said earlier, the the art. I like the art style. I mean, art is subjective, so it's according on who you are and that kind of thing. Like if you like it or not. But I actually thoroughly enjoy it. We get bumped into the underworld, and some of the people we have. Uh, uh, Demas, which is one of the underworld kind of leaders, and we also have Vario, which is one. So basically, you got Darth Maul going through the story, like pitting them against each other, basically to see like if he can cause like chaos. It does work. You have those two characters meet, and in like a funny little segment, they sit down, they're talking and discussing stuff, and then they end up getting into a fight, and Demas ends up dying. So that's another thing in here. There are like a little bit of stakes, even though it's a little cartoon. We got characters that are like dying and stuff. Like I said, it's not bloody, obviously, or any of that. And that's one of the cool things about Star Wars is when you're using like blasters and you're using like lightsabers, the bleeding and stuff doesn't really happen as much, and it's actually a logical reason because of the fact that they're so hot that they cauterize as soon as they like cut off our arm or anything like that. It like sets up and cauterizes, so you don't have to have the blood and everything when it comes to it, and it actually makes sense. It's not just because it's a cartoon. We got the new Twi'lek. Can't think of her name right off the top of my head, but she gets caught, put into it ended up being like a detention cell or whatever because she was out there, got caught stealing and everything. So you kind of get this little undertone of like she may have like a dark side to her, even though she's trying to be like technically like a good person, probably like a Jedi and whatnot. Darth Maul like censors her, like I said earlier about the Padawan and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just really think that the show like flows pretty damn well, and like everything seems to make sense. And like I said, because they're dropping 2 episodes at the time, this first episode, you get them going to the jail to be able to get Vario out because they want him to be able to use him uh, in their plot to be able to like strive this chaos. Like that actually, he's wanting revenge, going to kill him, but then Vario is like a talker, so he ends up talking his way out of this whole situation uh, and all that. So I really liked it. And then the second thing going on here is you have the second episode, Sinister Schemes. And kind of what I was talking about, they left off in the jail, they come back, and then you actually have like the jail fight. Uh, you have the detective going after her, and he ends up finding out in this episode that they're up against something that like he probably didn't even recognize because you got Darth Maul out there doing his thing. And so you have the fun little like you know espionage kind of style thing where they're going in there and uh, getting all that done. and it's just really fun. I like the characters. I even like the old Jedi. Now I will say about the old Jedi, the voice that he gives off is like kind of weird, considering like, you know, he's not like a human species. He's an alien, and it is kind of like a, like, almost don't sit well with him. But you also, like I said, you have the looming threat of the Empire, which we'll get into, I think, in the next two episodes coming after these first two. But it's just a interesting dynamic, because you have Maul going against these old leaders that betrayed him at one point, and then you have like the Empire that obviously doesn't want Darth Maul going around doing stuff, because obviously you got Darth Vader and stuff out there. It's going to be interesting to see like if any of those characters actually get involved, like Vader, Palpatine, uh, in any of that. Uh, so we will see. But like I said, and then we also have the detective character. He has his son, and like I actually like the fact that like they have a little bit of strife. It looks like a single dad, the mother somewhere. I don't know if he's single, like what's going on, like if they're just split up for like a certain reason, because like she has to go somewhere else to work or something like that. I think it may be said in here that she like actually maybe she took a job with like the Empire, and it obviously seems like the father don't agree with the Empire and stuff like that. Like he doesn't actually agree with what they're doing, so he's kind of like fighting against that. He wants to keep the secret. Like I said, it's written well enough. Like it's stupid for him not to call in the Empire when you realize that Darth Maul's out there like wrecking havoc in your city. But at the same time, like he's sitting there going like, "Hey, wait 1 second. I don't like the Empire. I don't like the way they do things." And you set that up well enough that I think that like it doesn't make the rest of the stuff seem stupid. Like, oh, how come he's so dumb? He's obviously against the Empire. He doesn't like how the Empire is doing things, and so that doesn't make, you know. And too many shows I've seen here more recently would have stupid stuff like that going on, where it's like, oh, the they'll just set it up where they don't do something that's an obvious thing that they should do, but then they really don't explain it very well, like after the fact. But you have all that, and then you have the detective trying to find more stuff out. He's trying to find out about the Shadow Collective. He's trying to find out like what's going on uh, with all this stuff, and like how can he find Maul? Like, because he wants to find Maul before he has to get the Empire involved and all this stuff. You got Darth Maul starting to try to he captures obviously the young Padawan, the Twi'lek, and he has her him. I don't actually know because I don't. They really don't make it obviously 100% clear. I think it is a she in the show. Has her locked away, and he's basically saying like you find your way out, get your way out. You're a Jedi, and then like she eventually does, and it's a pretty cool scene where like when she does escape, her and Maul talk, and it's a pretty cool little scene. Like he's getting her prepared, possibly changing sides from like the Jedi to the to actually like becoming possibly a Sith later on. But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. First two episodes set up things. These aren't going to be very long, like reviews or whatnot. I don't want to sit here and be talking for super long. This is kind of like a shorter deal, but those are the things that I noticed in the first two episodes that I actually liked and I actually enjoyed, and I'm actually down for this series. I'm actually pumped for this series. I was covering the Daredevil series. For one, not a lot of people seems even interested in the new Daredevil series. The first three episodes was bland, boring. I actually like the first two episodes of this like way better. I think it's even done better. I think it's even written better, to be honest with you. Even though it's a cartoon, it's actually written better than their live action show for Daredevil, which is like, come on, dude, it's ridiculous. Like I said, I don't think most people even hung around for the first three episodes. The fourth episode was pretty cool, but then the fifth episode I've heard already is like kind of bland itself, and it's another boring snooze fest. 4 out of your 5 episodes of your live action thing that has characters that people are interested in, especially from the Netflix series, is kind of going down. Whereas this right here, I think actually is going up. I don't think a lot of people's going to give this a chance, but I do think they should give it a chance so far after watching the first couple of episodes. And like I said, I'll be back here soon with the next couple of episodes, kind of like going over them, what I like or dislike about those coming up here pretty soon. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Do all those great things. Even join our Discord and everything else. It's free to join the Discord, and you can get in some of the discussions that we talk about with some of these shows, entertainment. We have sports as well. Talk about all kinds of like sports things. So if you like sports, you're on the sports side. Our Discord covers both of those because we have two channels. We have the stuff we do over here at the post credits, and then we also have things that we do over at the Let's Get Ready Sports Network. Good friends, better rivals. So. Get over there, watch the stuff, watch it on both sides. You happen to be a sports fan and a Star Wars fan, like a perfect mix sometimes. But with that being said, thank you guys. I'll be back with a couple of other reviews. Going to be doing some movies coming up as well, possibly horror movies and stuff like that I've seen on Netflix and stuff recently. Maybe you haven't jumped on, but jump on those. And I'll tell you whether you should stream it or skip it. Make that choice a little bit easier when you're sitting there pulling up your Netflix app and you're sitting there for an hour trying to choose what to watch. Maybe something like that could help out. But with all that, guys, being said, thank you guys for listening and paying attention. And if you made it here this line, I appreciate you super hardcore. Until next time, peace.